So here is fixing frequency first. So next article is here, fixing frequency. What exactly this one? Basically, fixing frequency, which means, so this article is important. This syllabus, you must have heard about the syllabus. The syllabus is here: science and tech, growth, development, IT and computers, indigenization of technology, scientific innovation and discoveries. Here is the men's syllabus I have mentioned here, so that you are aware that this article is important. For prelims, that 5G, IoT, big data, artificial intelligence, edge computing, fourth industrial revolutions, and for mains, that we can say here is uses of 5G, challenges for 5G rollout in India, and evolution of telecom technology. So that has been discussed in this article. So that article is very important in the term, if you are talking about like GS mains portion, science and tech GS third, and as well as prelims question, because as we are aware about, like lots of questions has been asked that is based on new technology. In this 2020-21 that we are talk about like sodium lamp and that LED, so that kind of questions has been asked earlier. So you must keep aware about the technologies questions. Okay, so here is the questions earlier has been asked, is with reference to communication technologies, what are the differences between LTE? LTE, which means long term evolutions, and volt which means voice over long term evolutions, right? So LTE, which means long term evolution, and volt, which is voice over long term evolution. This question has been asked in UPSC 2019. So question is, LTE is commonly marked as a 3G. LTE is commonly marked as 3G. So look it very carefully, and volt is commonly marked as the advanced 3G. So are you aware about, is there any term which we have heard earlier, advanced 3G? So we are aware, no, this statement is basically incorrect one. So here is the option. In that case, we will follow the POE. It means process of elimination. In that segment, that we will follow that which option would not be suitable, right? So POE, like the first one, if you're talking about, so one statement first is incorrect. So we can easily eliminate one here. Here is both 1 and 2. We can easily eliminate 2 only, that can be possible, and neither 1 or nor 2. So now we are left with the two options here, B and C. So B is here 2 only, and D is here neither 1 and 2. So now the second statement will decide which one is the right answer. LTE is data only technology and volt is voice only technology, right? So once you are seeing this one, so make sure once you are watching this one, make sure that take 30-40 seconds and then try to solve it yourself, because I will explain each and everything, but you are going to be up here. So you have to build up such kind of confidence, so that would be very important, and such kind of temperament also that will be important for the prelims exam, because your mind is that see the question in that a way that there are 4 options is there, and you are able to solve such questions, right? So LTE is a data only technology and volt is a voice only technology. So here is LTE is not only data technology only, and volt is a voice only technology. So second option is also incorrect one. So the answer would be here D, that means neither 1 nor 2. So you have to be aware about the where is the UPSC thinks about such sort of question, because until and unless you are not aware about like what kind of question has been asked, then how you will be solve such kind of questions. You must aware about the where is the UPSC is thinking earlier, what kind of question has to be framed earlier, right? Okay, so I have mentioned here the answer as well. So as you can see, the volt allows an operator to offer both voice and data, right? Volt allows what? Operator to offer both voice and data over a 4G LTE network, and big advantage of volt is that call quality is superior to 3G and 2G connections, through which voice is usually routed. So basically in 2G connections, G stand for what? In 2G and 3G, this is a general question. G basically for generation, right? So 2G connection through which voice is usually routed, and as more data can be transferred via 4G. So from above statement we can infer that volt associated with 4G. So first one is wrong, and volt allows both data and voice, not only data or voice, which I have mentioned in the second one statement. So volt allows both data and voice. So second one is wrong statement. Okay. So here basically now we talk about 5G auction. So what is exactly the 5G auctions? As you can see that government proposed to conduct required spectrum auction in 2020 to facilitate rollout of 5G mobile phones services in fiscal 2022 and 2023. So has understandably triggered speculation including about the feasibility of the timeline. Feasibility which means easily available. See, such kind of the keyword is important, because once you write such kind of keyword in your mains answer writing, that the evaluator, once you check your copy, he will be very impressed. Like it means the person is aware about the candidate is regularly following about like such kind of newspaper, because feasibility, like durability, such word is very important once you write such kind of articles. Okay. The government keenness to expedite to roll out was framed by MS Sitharaman as being repelled by an appreciation of the latest generation of telecommunication technology, ability to serve as an enabler of economic growth and job creation. So basically what government wants, so 5G technology which enables more than the 4G technology, so that we can that technology ability to serve as an enabler of economic growth and job creation. So where the government is keeping an eye of this. So 5G represents an exponential in technologies beyond doubt. However, most countries that have commercial 5G so far largely find the technology still predominantly deployed as an upgraded replacement of 4G in terms of end use, with industrial and public utility application in which is still at least few years away. So basically the passage is basically talking about the 5G represent an exponential leap in the technologies beyond doubt. Obvious that most of the country that have commercial 5G so far, so they are predominantly deployed as an upgraded replacement for 4G, basically 4G and terms use. New technology works at optimum potential to government would need to only offer the key operation. Key operation of what? Key operation of frequency is including the below 1 gigahertz, right? And the C-band frequency. What exactly C-band frequency we will discuss now. Around 3.5 gigahertz and the higher 26 gigahertz, but also crucially enable the transport of backhaul of signals between the base station and telecom operators core networks by offering no to low cost band deliveries. So basically the 5G technology having much more facility as compared to 4G. Okay, so here is basically what we are talking about, that the wave around us, the proportion of the electromagnetic spectrum known as C bands. So C band is basically the proportion of electromagnetic spectrum known as C bands, and what it offers the best mix of coverage and capacity to carry 5G wireless communications, which promise data speed 100 times faster than those of recent years. So make sure that sometimes in the prelims question that can be framed, that is how many times that is faster. So which promise data 100 times faster than two of recent years, right? So the data speed ought to be obviously 100 times faster than those of recent years. The electromagnetic spectrum is here is C band. So as we can see the wave types according to the length. So here is buildings, here is humans, here is metal. So basically is 10 bar minus 2. So here is basically radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma ray. So basically that segment is we must aware about what kind of waves, and because in the kind of if you talk about the electromagnetic spectrum, so in terms of electromagnetic spectrum we must need to aware about. Do not try to go too much deep because the questions cannot be framed or not has been asked earlier. So now so here it is in 5G technology if you talk about. So here is, make it very short, from first to fifth generation. From first to fifth generation, how technology changed what we do with. So here is analog system, basic voice system, limited coverage. So first G is in 1980 has to be introduced, about 0.002 megabyte per second. Latency, what exactly the latency? Because latency term has to be introduced in the 5G terms also, because 5G is used on the lowest latency. So what exactly latency? Can anyone tell what exactly latency? Because we must aware about what the terms have to be used. So latency basically meaning networking is basically is amount of time it takes for a packet of data to be captured, transmitted or processed through multiple devices. So basically amount of time it takes to packet of data that can be received, that is known to be a latency, right? You must aware about this. So 2G is basically 1990, average speed of 0.064 megabyte per second. Digital version of first 1G. Voice and text mode coverage, latency is, we can see here, is 629. As we are going further like 2G, 3G, 4G, we can see it here, the latency is reducing. Latency is reducing. See, before going to discuss about the any topic, you must have a curious about the fact, like basically in science question like how, what, when, where. That's kind of question you must need to raise, because if your mind is very curious to know about the facts, then in that consent you will get to know that what kind of topics what your mind is discussing about such kind of facts, then you think about that, yes, my topic has been covered. So as we can see that here is first G, second G, third G, 4G and 5G. We can see it here, the latency is reducing. As we can see here is no latency is here. Here is in 2G latency is 629. Here is latency 212. In 3G, here is on 4G we talk about 60 to 90, and here is latency is 1 ms. So here is 2G announced in 1990. The date not to be recorded, that this date can be used in the essay section only or in ethics portion, but not more and less. So 3G basically in 2000s we discussed average speed 2 to 10 megabyte per second, mobile broadband, voice data and internet on phones, tablets. Because as we discussed, the question has been earlier asked on based on 5G technology. So right, the upcoming exams, that question can be framed about the 5G technology. So we must know about what the earlier questions has been asked, right? Now is 4G is high speed access to internet on smartphones, on tablet in addition to voice. So 4G is basically average speeds access to internet on smartphones and tablets in addition to voice. In 4G, two mobiles broadband with device to create hotspot. So in 4G we can see it here, it's create the hotspot. In 4G segment we create the hotspot. Latency is not need the data, but make sure that latency is reducing if you 5G, 6G, and might be in the future generation if we talk about. And in 5G, which has to be launched in 2020, average speed is 1000 to 1400 Mbps megabyte per second. Broadband access everywhere is possible. Alternative to home broadband, high capacity, faster phones, remote control device like drones, smart autonomous vehicles like 3D video calls and holograms. So basically such features is important in the 5G technology. So because the reason when 5G is you know that a remote control device is to be followed by the 5G technology, and smart autonomous vehicles like 3D video calls, holograms and online video is speed is somehow is improving.